Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, in our last little video we created this hover effect here with a little icon. When you hover over, some text appeared. We've got another very simple hover effect for you today, and we're using the new icon module that Divi has just released. And we got some images darked out here with some icons on the top. When you hover over, the icon's going to disappear and it's going to reveal the image behind. And that's a nice little effect to have on your site. If you're mousing around and that happens, it's going to get people's attention pretty quickly. Like I say, this is really easy to do. There is no coding or extra plugins involved in this today. We're simply using the inbuilt features of the Divi theme itself. So let's get started. I'm going to enable the visual builder so we can build on the front end here. Now once loaded, let's go down and we'll add a new row. I guess I'll go straight under the one that we've got here. I'm going to use 3 columns simply because that's what I've got above and below. It will work any structure you want. Now Divi comes as standard with all these light grey modules, plenty enough to build just about any site. Today we're going to use the new icon module that was released last week, which is right here. Simply going to left click and there it is. Let's do a search because they've just upgraded this to include the Font Awesome icons, and you can scroll down and keep scrolling and there's literally hundreds of them there and they're great. But I'm just going to do a search. Let's do maybe Office. That'll do fine. That's absolutely fine. That's one we've got before, but some of these I can use again. And let's just use that little briefcase. That's absolutely fine. So as you can see, we've got our little icon there. While we're here, I'm going to roll down. Now if you want this icon or module to link to somewhere, either when they click on the icon, which is actually going to disappear when they hover over it, but we can still use it as an active link for the whole module, then you can go into your link right here and you can put whatever URL you want in there. As always, best practice, if you're linking to your own site, leave it in the same window. If you're linking off-site to somebody else's website, open it in a new tab so yours stays open. Okay, so if you've done a link or not bothered with a link, let's move on down to background. And I'm simply going to put in a color. We've got color, gradient and image right here. I'm going to put in a color. I'm going to put a black background in. As you can see, it's right there. I'm going to click on the black, just left click, and I'm going to bring this opacity slider down to about, say, 70%. Obviously you may need to readjust this for your images or however you want it to look. And this is going to enable us to see through this black a little bit and see the image that I'm going to put behind in a little while. Okay, well, let's save this. Let's give this a little bit of height, because we're going to put an image behind it, and I'm actually going to put the image in the column rather than the module background itself, so we can fade the actual module in and out. So let's go back into our module and we'll go over to design this time. We'll go down to spacing and I'm going to give it some padding, top and bottom. There's padding, top, and let's say 150. Just put in the 150, it'll put in the pics for you. And if you want the same at the bottom, hit the chain and it'll do the opposite side for you. And I'm going to do similar for left and right, because that's going to look a little crazy if we leave it like that. So I'm going to do exactly the same, 150, both sides. A little bit too wide there. Let's take that down to 100 and we'll readjust when we've got the image in the background. Okay, well, that's the sort of size and shape that I want. I want to take that icon down in size a bit and give it a white color. So still on the design tab, let's go up to the top, go to our icon. I'm going to make mine white. I'm going to take mine down to about 50 pixels. Again, just put in the 50, it'll put the pics in for you. Okay, what we're going to do now is put our image in the background there. So I'm going to save my changes here. I'm going to go into the actual row, green tab for the row. We're on the first column here. Going to go down to background, and again we've got color, gradient, image or video. If you want to put a video back there, I'm going to use an image. Simply go and grab the image that you want. And as you can see, it's in the background there, and our sort of background color is not filling it. While we're in here, what I'm going to do, save this, I'm going to put an image in the other two columns as well, so we can easily create 3 of these if we want to. So while I'm in here, I'm just going to add a couple of separate images. You won't see anything because there's no height to columns 2 and 3, but I'm just going to pop a couple of images in there. And let's do the same for 3, and then when we finish this, I'll copy it over and you'll see how easy it is to recreate. And we'll just add an image here as well to put the dolphins in. Great. Now we can go back and readjust our little element here. Save that, save the main column or row settings. Go back in here. Let's adjust our background, our padding here, so it covers the background image there. So design, spacing. I'm going to take that back up to about 150. Yeah, that's still a little bit too much. So let's take it to 140. Get it close to where we want it. Then we can actually increment with the little arrows here. We can just go down until it's just exactly the right height, which I think is right there. Fantastic. Okay, well that's what we want to see initially, which is a hint of the image with an icon and a dark out background there. Then when we hover over it, we want this to completely disappear, so we're left with a nice image. So again, we're still on the design tab. Let's close up the spacing. Let's go down to our filters below. Going to roll down a bit to opacity or transparency or see-throughness if you like. And this is common to most Divi modules. If you see some dark writing there, hover over it and you'll see some icons appear to the right. On the one that you want to adjust, hover over. If there's an arrow there, click on it and it'll give us a desktop state when your mouse is not on it, and a hover state obviously when your mouse is on it. Now when we hover on this, I don't want to see any of this dark background or the icon, so I'm going to make it invisible by pulling the opacity all the way down to 0. And then when we take our mouse back off and it returns to desktop state, want it to be fully visible again. Perfect. Now the default time it takes to do that with the Divi theme is 300 milliseconds, which is pretty quick. I like to slow mine down purely for a bit of drama. To me it just looks a little bit better. So to do that, let's go over to the advanced. I'm going to go down to transitions. There's the default 300. You can either slide the slider up or type in whatever value you want. I'm going to take mine to about 3/4 of a second. Don't want any delay. I want it to happen as soon as the mouse hits it. Speed curve I tend to use for these little hover effect is ease in and ease out. Then when you take your mouse on, it'll ease back out again, which works for me. But play with these. They're all slightly different. They'll do different things in different situations, so check them out. But usually for hover, this one seems to work best for me. Okay, well we should be good to go. And while we're here, let's just duplicate this now, because we've put images in these 2 columns here. So if I duplicate our little icon module here with the little square, we can move over, pop it where you want it. We'll duplicate it one more time. As you can see, that's revealed the little dolphin picture behind. Drag this one to the middle. And as you can see, that's revealed that sort of aurora picture behind, and we can just go in and change the icon to whatever is appropriate for you. And we may slightly have to adjust the padding to make sure that they still cover all of our image right there. We'll put that one in there. Yeah, we've lost a little bit on the sides there, so we can simply just go back into the spacing for this one and increment up until it covers. Because it's a dark background, I don't notice it too much, but let's take it up and cover it properly. I think that looks about right there. Great. And then just pop into your next one. Choose the icon you want. And of course, if you've put a link in it, you want to change your link to wherever is appropriate for your link. But we just want to change the icon on this. So let's go to our icon. And we'll pop in that one. And let's have a look, see if we need to adjust the padding there. No, it seems to be fine on that one. Great, so we should be good to go. Let's save our changes. We'll go down and save the page changes. Exit the Visual Builder. And let's go down. There's our little image with the icon. When we hover over, the icon and background is going to fade out to reveal the image. And of course, if you put a link in there, they'll be able to click on it and go wherever it is you want to take them. Really simple effect, but that's pretty eye-catching. Really easy to do. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.